Good morning, children. Today, once again, we have come over here to discuss about the Indian rivers and water resources. As we all know that the drainage system of India has evolved and adjusted into three physiographic units: the Himalayas, the Peninsular Plateau, and the Indo-Gangetic Plains. Today, in this class, we are going to listen about the Himalayan rivers and peninsular rivers. Himalayan rivers are the Indus, Ganga, and the Brahmaputra. These three rivers are called as perennial rivers, as they flow throughout the year continuously. And the states which are passing through these are green-fed. Totally, the states are green-fed. Peninsular rivers are Godavari, Krishna, Penna, Mahanadi, etc. These are the states where they are getting agriculture not that much as Himalayan rivers. Himalayan rivers are getting more agriculture than the peninsular rivers. Usage of water. Water usage. Water usage mainly depend on two factors. One is inflow and the other is outflow. Inflow follows a series of steps, that is precipitation, surface flow and ground flow. These are the three steps where inflow of water will take place. Inflow means the river water, the rainwater that is gathering into the rivers and canals. That is inflow. Outflow follows a series of steps. It is not in only one step. Many steps are there. Among them, the first one is evaporation. The next is water flowing out via surface flow and groundwater. Water for irrigation. Water used for domestic purpose and for animals. And water for industrial use also. In India, only 40% of the agricultural land is cultivated, and remaining 60% of the land is totally dependent on the monsoons, where monsoon is playing a gambling role with the farmers. Means the monsoons are doing gambling with the farmers, means they are not getting adequate rainfall or good rainfall, where many farmers are going in debts because of the monsoons. For the remaining cultivated land, agriculture is the gambling with monsoon. In India, there are 72 drought-prone districts in 13 states. So almost in India, 72 districts are there, which comes under drought every year, which covers 13 states of India. Like Andhra Pradesh is one among them. Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh. There are some states are there. Orissa is also one of the states which is affected with drought prone areas. 40 million hectares of land in flood prone. 40 million hectares every year. 40 million hectares of land is gone in water. That is flood prone areas where 40 million hectares are drawn under water. Even though cultivation is going on, but it is affected with floods. That states like Uttar Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, Sikkim. There are so many states which are affected with the floods. In India, only 3% of the water is utilized, and remaining water is drained into seas and oceans. That is Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea, and Indian Ocean. By this 3% of water only we are getting cultivation, and we are using the water for many purposes. Suppose if 10% or 15% of water is utilized in a proper way, then think what would be the fate of India. India will be in a very, very good position if we utilize the water properly, rather than draining the water into seas and oceans. So most of the water that is coming through rivers and canals that drain in Bay of Bengal or Arabian Sea or Indian Ocean. Most of it is in the form of ice and only less is accessible. Most of the available water, also only 5% is used for domestic purpose and the remaining is used for other purposes. So remain out of this 3%, in that 5% of water is used for domestic purpose and remaining other percentage of water is used for other purposes. So one of the major usage of water is by industries. Industries are using much amount of water rather than the agriculture fields. So this is also one of the reasons why agriculture is not that much developed when compared to the industrial sector. Here we have an example to understand how the people are taking initiative to preserve the water or conservation of water. In Maharashtra, there is one small village called Himwer Bazar. That village people have taken themselves an initiative to preserve the water. For that purpose, they have taken some important steps like ban on bore wells. They banned totally bore wells for irrigation. And also they have given strict restrictions. Growing of sugarcane, banana should be prohibited. Why? Because it consumes a lot of huge amount of water. And also the land, agricultural land should not be sold to outsiders, other state people. These are the conditions where they have put before the people. By these conditions, they have got very good preventive results. And another thing is that if they want to do irrigation, they have to do irrigation through dug wells only, not through bore wells. By following these steps, they have got good result. And one more thing what they have done means, after getting the rainwater, after getting the rains, they will see whether it is sufficient for the first crop or it is abundant for second crop also. Then they will go for a second crop. If not, they won't go for second crop. They will stop for first crop only, and the remaining water is preserved for drinking purpose and other domestic purposes only. Means they are not letting the water to be wasted for the second crop, like that they are doing. By doing such activities by Himwer Bazar, they have preserved a huge amount of water. Even though if they get continuous drought in that area, then there is no any problem of drought for drinking purpose. Drinking water can be available for continuous years, even though there is no rainfall also. Alright children, I hope you understand what all I explained today. You prepare a notes and put it on the WhatsApp. Thank you children.